Domain Driven Design, an approach to software development that emphasizes on giving more focus to the business domain and the relationships between different business concepts in order to create a more efficient and effective software design. And this is what the Wikipedia definition of DDDs says too, that domain driven design is a major software design approach focusing on modeling software to match a domain according to input from that domain's experts. So, DDD is based on the idea that software development should start by understanding the problem domain, which is the area of expertise or business that the software is intended to support. This understanding is used to create a shared language and model of the problem domain, which can be used to guide the design and development of the software. In his blog, Bounded Context, published in January 2014, Martin Fowler defined DDD more accurately, where he wrote DDD is about designing software based on the models of the underlying domain. A model acts as a ubiquitous language to help communication between software developers and domain experts. It also acts as the conceptual foundation for the design of the software itself, how it's broken down into objects or functions. And to be effective, a model needs to be unified, that is, to be internally consistent so that there are no contradictions within it. So, what are the key elements of DDD? The fundamental elements of DDD include first, the domain itself, which is the area of expertise or business that the software is intended to support. Next, we have domain model. For every domain, you need a model as well. So, it is a representation of the problem domain, created by analyzing and modeling the key concepts and relationships within the domain. Third, we have bounded context, a specific area of the problem domain with its own set of concepts and relationship. And about this, Martin says that bounded context is a central pattern in DDD. It is the focus of DDD's strategic design section, which is all about dealing with large models and teams. DDD deals with large models by dividing them into different bounded contexts and being explicit about their interrelationships. Then we have domain events, the events that occur within the domain and have an impact on the problem domain. Another fundamental element is aggregate, a cluster of domain objects that are treated as a single unit. And finally, of course, we can say a ubiquitous language, which is a shared language that is used to communicate and understand the problem domain across different stakeholders. So, DDD is designed to be used in conjunction with other software development methodologies like Agile and Scrum. The goal of DDD is to create software that is more aligned with the business needs and that can be adapted more easily to changing environments. It helps to create a shared understanding of the problem domain and a software system that is easier to maintain and easier to evolve. Generally, when we talk about DDD, we also talk about the BDD, the behavior driven development, a development approach that is closely related with DDD but has a slightly different focus. BDD is focused on specifying and testing the behavior of the software rather than its implementation. It is based on the idea that software development should be driven by the desired behavior of the system rather than the technology or implementation details. So we can say the main difference between DDD and BDD is that DDD focuses on modeling the problem domain and creating a shared understanding of the business concepts, while BDD focuses on specifying and testing the behavior of the system. So, DDD, domain driven design, is more about the design of the software and how it represents the problem domain, while behavior driven design (BDD) is more about the testing and validation of the software. And we can say that both are complementary to each other and can be used together to create more effective software development processes.